Tradition 1 for service. Hello, I am an addict named Bill. This section of our tradition study is for service, but still relevant to all NA members. If you are a member, you are involved in service, directly or indirectly. Please follow along and complete the questions at the end as you feel led to do so. In service. When we come together in service, we connect with each other in a vital way. Most of us feel better when we are productive, and doing something together that helps addicts stay clean gives us a sense of belonging. The friendships we develop in service are unlike any in our lives, not because they are always easy or pleasant, but because we work hard, walk through struggles, and solve problems together. In contributing to our common welfare, we find meaning and joy. In creative action, we find love and purpose. Our vision statement includes the hope that every addict will be able to hear the message, and that every member has the chance to experience spiritual growth and fulfillment through service. We experience unity in service when we see our work as part of a greater whole, in service to our primary purpose, and connected to our personal recovery. In whatever way we serve, our vision must be at the center. We can be so focused on a task that we neglect to reach out to members who might be willing or interested. Vision is important, and we must constantly adjust our focus, zooming in on the task at hand, and pulling back to see how it fits in the larger frame. Our experience, strength, and hope is our message. We share how NA works in our lives. When we're just going through the motions, we can feel it, and so can the newcomer. Hospitals and institutions. One HNI panel leader said, "I saw it intensely in HNI. Someone would share the real struggle of staying clean and everyone would connect. Another addict would share a bunch of cliches and the whole room was watching the clock." Our common welfare depends on our willingness to be honest about our experience and to share like our lives depend on it. That honesty extends to the rest of our communication as well. Communication problems often arise because we're offering incomplete information, or we assume people aren't interested. Honesty is a commitment to reality. It can be hard to stay committed when reality is messy, complicated, or unpopular. Unity does not require uniformity, and it's often in allowing others to do things in their own way that new answers and questions come to light. Conflict can be a creative force as well as a challenge. Active engagement sometimes helps to sharpen our thinking and spark excitement. If service were easy, we wouldn't need so much literature on how to do it. Often we turn to the traditions when we want to be right about something, or more to the point, when we want to prove someone else wrong. I would give what I thought were expert opinions about every tradition, but over time I realized I was missing the point of the first, said one member. Learning to use our traditions as a navigating system rather than a weapon is a shift for many of us. Making that shift has tremendous impact on our common welfare. Many struggles in service reflect challenges we deal with in our personal lives. There is freedom in knowing we don't have to be in charge all the time. Not one of us is personally capable of guiding the affairs of NA. To keep our common welfare first, we let go of the desire to own a service position or a particular task, and we look to the good of the whole. Selfless service is our ideal, but we often struggle with our beliefs about our importance, our rightness, or our need for approval. One trusted servant remarked, "Every service meeting feels like one long seventh-step workshop for me." Being right can be its own addiction. Although we depend on each other's experience and insight, a constant stream of suggestions or second-guessing may be a sign of self-obsession. A member shared, "I was chairing a convention, and I thought my professional experience would be useful. I asked all the subcommittee chairs for budgets, I took them home and corrected them all. At the next meeting, I returned the corrected copies to the subcommittee chairs. They were horrified, and I felt humiliated for overstepping my duties. The committee was willing to work through it with me, and eventually I was able to make amends and regain their trust. We let each other do the work in our own way, and learn through it with loving support, clear guidelines, and trust. Trust doesn't mean we stop paying attention. We can help each other stay on course and still believe we all share the same good intentions, even if we have different ways of getting there. We often judge others by their actions while judging ourselves by motives and intentions. Guidelines can keep us accountable without making it personal. Thinking about principles before acting is never a mistake, but we can think ourselves right into a corner. We can get lost in policy and procedure and not get very much done at all. Enthusiasm can also be dangerous. In the rush to reach our goals, we sometimes resist group conscience or act impulsively. Experienced members have pointed out that nearly every early story about our traditions began, "We had a great idea and we meant well, but then, when we work together on a committee or work group, we are accountable to others, to the groups, and to our higher power, and often others are accountable to us." At times, this can seem cumbersome or inefficient, but working together keeps us on track. NA service is never a solo effort. Even when we are physically alone, we are not spiritually isolated. We are connected to something larger, and our fellow addicts are often willing to help us if we are willing to ask. This is a we program, and we see it in action when we work together toward a goal. When we take the long view, we can trust that we're on a journey to a lesson. The outcome will speak for itself if we let it. A member shared, "Every year I made the same motion to eliminate the area's convention, and every year 1,000 addicts showed up. Who was I to keep fighting it?" Finally, it was time to let go. Many of us have shared about the experience of carrying a conscience we did not agree with. It's a selfless act and a spiritual exercise. When we can get out of the way and speak for our group or service body, we begin to experience what it can be like to let a higher power work through us. We start to have faith that the right thing will happen, even when we're not sure what that is, and come to understand that what is best for everyone will be best for us as well. We learn to communicate in a way that is honest and authentic without being aggressive. We can be ourselves without feeling like ourselves are on the line. These are workshop questions found at the end of this reading. Please answer these as you feel led to do so. These questions offer a way to begin or continue a service discussion or workshop focused on this tradition. 1. How do the services we carry out benefit our common welfare? In what ways do we contribute to a sense of unity, locally and beyond? 2. What responsibilities does our service body have? Who do we serve? Who are we accountable to? How do accountability and responsibility help us to foster unity? 3. Does our NA community work together in a spirit of unity? How can we build or enhance a spirit of unity? 4. How do we recognize unity or disunity in our service body? How does disunity in NA affect us as a service body? What do we do about it? Do we do anything to acknowledge when we're doing well? 5. How does this tradition help us understand anonymity? How does anonymity help us understand this tradition? How do we practice anonymity in terms of this tradition? 6. Discuss any bridges between this tradition and one or more of the 12 concepts. What do these bridges teach us about our service efforts? 7. What more can we do to bring the principles of this tradition into our service efforts? What could we do differently to better carry out our services? Thanks for listening. Do not forget, check out our group on Facebook. It's called NA Traditions Study Group. The therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. It is a private group, so please answer all questions and read the rules to join. We have it set up that way to keep spammers out.